Hello everyone, Paul with you today. I get so many questions and emails about how to work separate muscle groups. For example, the chest, the biceps, something else. So this video I'm going to explain to you how to work any muscle whatsoever in your whole body. Alright? If you guys know this, if you guys know simple anatomy, how all this works, turn off the video. It's going to be a waste of time for you. But those of you who do want to know like obliques and all these weird muscles like your traps, and you're like, how do you train those things with bodyweight exercises? So I'm going to explain to you. And if you don't know, just stay and listen. If you do know, go off the video. It's going to be a waste of time. So let's start. First thing that you have to remember is that muscle only pulls. There's no muscle that pushes whatsoever. No muscle. All the muscles are like rubber bands tied to two things. So let's say I have right here two pencils, right? So if I have a muscle tied, attached to let's say they're attached like this. If I have a muscle attached right here at the bottom and a muscle attached right here, so there's this big muscle going from attaching to this pencil to this pencil. And if it's a rubber band, then it pulls the two together, right? And then there's a muscle on the back of the rubber band that comes around, so it's attached right here, and it comes around the pencil and it attaches right here. So the muscle now pulls this thing back. Alright, that's exactly what happens on your bicep. This muscle, the bicep muscle, it's attached right here. Well, you can't really see the attachment. It's a little bright. It attaches right here, right here in the forearm. And then the back of your arm, it attaches to the bottom of the shoulder girdle, somewhere over there. I don't know. But basically, since it's attached right here, as a rubber band, it pulls this muscle towards here, right? So it pulls it together. That's why it shortens as a rubber band. And then this tricep muscle, which you see in the back, this muscle right here, it's attached, well, there's different sides to it. One is attached right here, and the other is attached to the bottom of this forearm, this arm. And the other one is attached to the back also. So it pulls, so right now it goes around my elbow and it's attached right here. And so it pulls my arm backwards as a rubber band while this arm relaxes. So the tricep never pushes. It's just pulling the arm. It's pulling the arm out to extend. And that's what's happening everywhere around your body. You have muscles who are working as, let's say, protagonist, antagonist, right? Easier to understand. The pro is like doing a good thing. The other one pushes against it. So that's what you have to understand. Now let's say you want to work your abdominals. Alright, so there's a lot of apps for phones, and then there's a lot of different programs that you can download for your computer. There's one, Visible Body, that I just found, and I did a quick Google search on 3D body muscle attachments, but this one you have to pay for. I'm sure there's free ones. You go up there, you find the muscle you gotta train. If you don't know that the scientific names for them, like this is pectorals major, right, or latissimus dorsi, or whatever, you don't know the names of those, you look up back muscle anatomy, and it'll give you the whole back muscles and the names to each one. Then you look that one up, and you look up the attachments. Alright, so if my lat muscle, right, so the wing, as they call it, the wing, if it attaches right here to the bottom of this arm, well, right there under it, right, right where the arm attaches, and then the second one attaches right here to the back, right? So it's attaching right there. If it works as a rubber band all the time, that means if it pulls, it's gonna pull this arm down, right? Or there's another one, also on the back, also latissimus, that's attaching right here. If you were to see me without a shirt, you would see how it's attaching right here, and then attaching in the back. So if it works as a rubber band, it'll pull backwards. So any movement for all these things, any movement that's working to pull it, you add resistance. So it's harder to pull, and you're basically working it out. That's how I made up many exercises. I just improvised and made those exercises to fit me that I could do at home. Your abdominals, they attach right here to the top, and they have the bends, and then they attach down here to the bottom of your hip. So all they do, they bring your whole what's this called? The rib cage down. Yeah, let's call it the rib cage. The sternum and the rib cage. They bring it down towards your hips. That's all they do. So this movement right here is the abs. They flex to bring the two down. So any exercise that's working on flexing the two and bringing them together, you add resistance to it. The best resistance usually is gravity. Unless you have weights, then you can add weight resistance. But usually put it in such a position where it's hard to do that movement, and you add gravity or whatever else the resistance is. You can add leverage. Basically, by leverage is picking up a phone like this is much easier than picking up a phone like this, right? Because of the leverage, because I gave it more distance, it now magnifies the weight of it. Well, with the phone it's not that big of a difference, but if you were holding a 10-pound weight, picking it up like this is easy. Then you stretch your arm out, it's much harder. See this movement right here? Your shoulder is working as a rubber band. It's pulling the arm up, right? So here it's relaxing, pulling the arm up, and when it's relaxing, it's still holding it in. The opposite muscle is not working. Why? Because the gravity does that for it. So you go against gravity. So if you want to work this muscle in a weird way that nobody else works it out, you go to the side like this, you pick up a heavy weight, and you pick it up like that. Alright, so gravity is pulling your arm down, you add resistance, you pull it up, you're working your lat. No one works their lats like that, but see, I just made up a new exercise just now thinking about it. So, let's say you want to work some obliques right here. Obliques attach right here, and they attach right here, and then you have the, what are they, serratus anterior or whatever they're called, go from here on. So basically, if there's a rubber band right here, what's the opposite movement of a rubber band that's pulling the two together? Obviously to stretch apart, right? This is the movement it does. So you pick up a heavy weight or something, and you go like that. If the weight for you is not too heavy, you get a larger weight, or you add leverage, right? So now you're going like this, and you're working this whole side. Right here, all these muscles being worked. Well, right now I'm at a bad angle, because right here I'm mostly gravity is not pulling me down. So to add gravity, to make this harder, I find a way. I lay down on some kind of platform. I don't know if I could show you. Let's say even my chair handle. So if I was to lay down like this, backwards, I can't show you. But if I was to lay down and I pick up a heavy weight and I'm going like this, halfway laying down, 45 degrees, the gravity is pulling me down, and so these muscles have to flex to make me churn. Alright, so I'm working against gravity with a weight. If you don't have weight, you just do it with body weight. After a minute or two, you're gonna feel it. I was doing that yesterday. I made up a new exercise just specifically for the obliques, and I was doing the side, and it worked. Your butt, you know, some people say you do squats for your butt. Yeah, you can do squats concentrating on your butt. You can do squats concentrating on your quadriceps. There's a much stuff you could do. But then a different one you could do is, you know, this exercise right here where they go like this and they raise their leg upwards. That's a butt exercise, because your butt attaches to the bottom of your leg right here, right? The muscle comes and attaches to the bone right there, and then the other one attaches right here. So basically what it does, if it's a rubber band that's pulled from here to here, when the rubber band flexes, it brings the leg backwards, right? So now it's flexed. So when you go and work against gravity and do this and add ankle weights or something like that, you work in your butt. And you could do hundreds of these, like literally hundreds of variations for all the different exercises, and isolate them as much as you want. When you understand how they work, you look up the attachment, and now you figure out a way to make that work against gravity with your own body weight, with or without, it's your choice. I hope that kind of puts things into perspective for you. So for example, if I was doing this, right, and I'm picking up a weight and I'm saying, oh look, my bicep is being worked out right now, because it's pulling the arm down. Now it's gravity pulling the arm down. Your tricep, if I had a weight in my hand, your tricep is working to push against gravity, right? Gravity is pulling me down, my tricep flexes as a rubber band and picks my arm up. Alright, now if I go down here and I can say, oh look, my tricep is working right now. No, my tricep is not working. Why? Because gravity is pulling my arm down, and to work against gravity, I have to pick my arm up against gravity. Alright, so my bicep is being worked because as a rubber band, it pulls my arm up against gravity. Do you kind of get that? like all the forearm muscles right here that people always want to work, the forearms, all those muscles. Let's say you want to work this muscle right here, the top muscle, and what it does, here's with gravity. This is against gravity, alright? It's picking my arm up against gravity. So I pick up a heavy weight and I try to pick it up against gravity. If you want to do the opposite side, this side of the arm, you see the attachments, you make it go against gravity. So here my gravity is pulling my arm down, I need to pick it up to here. So I pick up a large weight in my hand and I go like this or something like that. Or I can make up a lot of exercises like this, or with the bar. Say I'm hanging on the bar. If I was to hang on a bar and go like this, somehow push the bar down on me, imagine how much weight is pulling up and how much this rubber band has to compress to make how much I weigh, 150 pounds? To make 150 pounds go like that, alright? But it splits into two if I'm doing it on two arms. So I'm hanging there like this on a pull-up bar. Now this rubber band right here needs to compress down like that while there's 150 pounds pushing it upward. Does that make sense? Alright guys, now you know how to make exercises and you can work out any body part, any muscle in your body whatsoever just by thinking about it a little bit and applying resistance to that area, and you've got it. I hope this helps. And I do have a what's it called? Hand press tutorial upcoming soon, but I think I'll do back lever first because I'm not that great at hand press. I just want to get it down perfectly so it looks flawless, and then I'll make a tutorial on that, but probably back lever next. See you guys later. Thanks for watching. Paul with you today. Bye.